Good morning, guys. So, I want to start a channel to enlighten you guys on my health condition that I have and had um, since 2018 to the present, 2019, December. Um, Back in March 2018, I had back surgery. Then in August 10th of 2018, my cardiologist did something called a TEE and found out that my leaky valve that I had since 2013 was severely damaged, and that I was going to have open heart surgery to have that valve replaced. So on August 22nd, 2018, I had that valve replaced. And I will try to insert some pictures of that first surgery, because I've had 6 surgeries in my chest since then, and I just recently had one on November 26th, and I'll get into all that on a couple of videos, explaining all my surgeries that I had in my sternum, so issues that I have with my lungs. That's why I'm wearing the oxygen mask now. Multiple pneumonias in 2019, some lung issues that I have. And I felt like my life has went downhill since I've had that heart surgery. The first surgery, again, like I said, was in August 22nd, 2018. So I had the surgery. That went well. But before the surgery, what let me know that my heart valve finally went bad was I had shortness of breath, weakness, fatigue, tired all the time. I would walk from my bedroom to my kitchen and just feel weak and exhausted and just out of breath, want to sleep all the time, everything. So I kept telling my cardiologist, I just don't feel like myself. And my blood pressure would be high, sky high, like the 180s over 120. And he just was attributing it to just my regular normal high blood pressure. But I kept insisting something was wrong. Guys, you know your body and you know something ain't right, be persistent. But back to the surgery. So I had the surgery. Everything went well. I spent 6 days in the hospital, came home. So that was August. And here we are, September. I started feeling something funny in my chest. They give you precautions on how, for your sternum to heal. You gotta hug a pillow, which is this heart pillow here. And you'll see I have one behind me, and I'll show some pictures of multiple heart pillows that I have from multiple surgeries after the one on August 22nd. And I felt something funny sticking me in my chest. So they close your sternum up with sternal wires. And I felt the wire poking me in my chest. So I went back to see my surgeon, and I let him feel it. And he said, okay, well, I'm going to have to go back in to see if you broke a wire, which I did. How? Maybe I moved the wrong way, but these wires are supposed to be so strong, but unfortunately mine's broke. So on September 26th, my surgeon went back in, took those wires out, and replaced them with sternal plates. Right after that, on October the 3rd, I was having really bad pains in my chest, and running fevers. So they said, let's go in and see if she has an infection. This is on October the 3rd, 2018. So they went back in and they found some pus in my sternum. So they put something in my sternum called a wound vac and cleaned out the pus. And I had a wound vac and was in ICU from October 3rd until October 8th when they went back in and closed me back up and just left me on antibiotics, and I spent 2 weeks in the hospital. Okay, fine. So that's 4 surgeries on my sternum since the initial surgery, August 22nd. Then turn around, the plates were bothering me so bad, and I had drain tubes in that removes the excess fluid on your sternum, so you don't have fluid buildup in your chest and that fluid don't stay in. So they did a culture of the fluid in my drain tube, and my infectious disease doctor called me one afternoon and said, I'm admitting you in the hospital because you have an infection in your body from the drain tube. So I went back into the hospital. This is in November, like around November, I want to say the 10th of 2018, and was on antibiotics for 2 weeks. And then I kept complaining to my surgeon that those plates in my chest were too tight and they were hurting me really, really bad. And I wanted them out so bad. So my surgeon said that he would try to loosen it up, or if he couldn't loosen it up, he would just go ahead and take them out. And if he took them out, that my chest would be, vulnerable and just be open and be loose. So they went in to make sure I didn't have an infection in the sternum again. And when he went in, one of the screws was again loose on these plates. So he took the plates out and closed me back up. That was on November the 30th of 2018. So that was 5 surgeries on my sternum since I had the open heart surgery. So that was a lot that my sternum went through. So fine. We rolling into 2019. Here comes my issues with running back and forth with chest pain. Chest pain. When I move, I would feel clicking and popping. I couldn't lay flat in my bed. So multiple CAT scans and x-rays showed that my sternum now separated. Instead of it being closed together like this, it was gradually opening and opening and opening. So every time I move, I would hear a clicking sound. Click, click, click. So they said I had something called chronic non-union of the sternum. So initially that means that you have to get plates put back in to keep your sternum together so you wouldn't have that chronic pain, which I was having, to have those plates put back in. So now I'm on pain medication, Dilaudid, for that. And initially I was on pain medication for my back, which that would be in another video because I had back surgery for L4, L5 disc herniation that I had for over 10 years. And that's another story in itself. But I was on pain medication, more pain medication for the clicking in my chest. And I'll get into the story on why I have these staples in my sternum now, and I also have staples on my hip. So, and then dealing with the pneumonia and why I'm wearing an oxygen cannula. Those are all stories in themselves too. And how my life has just been so hard and an up and down roller coaster, and how I almost lost my life twice because of pneumonia, and had a lung biopsy and what they found out on the lung biopsy. And I'm just thankful to God that I'm still here with all these surgeries that I've been through and the pneumonia that I've been through. And wanting to know if anybody else has been experienced anything like this or been through anything like this. And pretty much talk about my everyday life, living with the pain from my back, the pain from my sternum, being short of breath all the time, what it was like being in ICU with the tube down my throat when I was awake for that, knowing that tube was down my throat. And again, try to figure out how to insert some pictures and little video clips because I'm new to YouTube, and subscribe to my channel so I can talk more about these things. Bye. Have a good day. The first video that I put up, again, I was new. I am new to YouTube, so I pretty much don't know what I'm doing. Have a good day.